If you've got a voice, then pull up a seat. Real talk drops with every beat. No echo chamber, no disguise. Welcome to the Dead Mike Society.
This is Dan.
This is Nick.
And welcome to Dead Mike Society. So we have a guest host today. We have Nick. He is the lead guitar player and vocalist from the band Max. I'd like to welcome you to the show. Sorry. Go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
I play guitar and I sing. I try to. I have, other musical projects as well. Well, just one other musical project, which is Perspective Music. And that's about it.
It's cool, man. How long have you been playing music?
Oh, man. It's ever since I was, 16.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a while.
And is it your favorite thing to do in your spare time?
Yeah, that and, do statistical programming. It sounds insufferable, but it's fun to do.
Okay, so you are a statistical programmer for fun or for career?
For both, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's cool, man. So what is that exactly?
Basically, what you're doing is implementing models to look at, you're given a phenomenon to examine, and you basically code observation metrics to see if you can predict the phenomenon, where the phenomenon is going to go next. So basically, it's a prediction game. That's all statistics really is for. It's just to try to predict what's going to happen in the future.
So could it be similar to like figuring out if it's going to rain tomorrow or not, like that kind of thing, or if the stock market's going to go up or down, like that? Is it a money prediction or is it a weather prediction or?
So at work, it's weather prediction and things that have to do with power metrics and grids and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for my hobby, then yeah, it is markets. It's making bots that trade automatically on crypto markets and on prop firms and things like that.
So you mentioned crypto markets, and it sounds very cool. Does the crypto world, does it seem like a Ponzi scheme to you at all, or does it seem like a legit world?
Well, it's kind of hard to say because I don't know everything there is to know about blockchain. I'm not a blockchain expert. I know how you do proof of work, and I know how the basics work. But the way I see it, the money we have now is not really based on anything either. We were taken off the gold standard, so in a way, everything is sort of a fiat currency. Anyways, everything is fake. There's no value; is all relative at this point. So it's hard for me to say that cryptocurrency is fake as opposed to what?
Well, okay.
Or that it's that it's a Ponzi scheme.
Okay, so for example, when you have a dollar bill, right? It's if it's in the bank, it's FDIC insured up to a certain amount, right?
Right.
But if you have cryptocurrency, it's not FDIC insured. So does that mean that the dollar's better in the bank because it has this insurance, or you're saying that it's relative because we give it the value? But if, like, let's say the bank didn't have any money in it, the government would reissue you the money that was lost up to that amount. But if your cryptocurrency was lost, you're just asked out, right?
Right. So in that sense, yes, it is better to go with what you would call like legacy. I call it legacy currency because it's something we've had for so long. So you're benefiting from not how good the system is, but how well established it is. How many years we've been using the system is what's protecting you essentially. FDIC didn't just happen right when the dollar was born.
No, I think it came in after the stock market crash during the
right,
depression.
in 29. Yeah. So it was born out of the 30s. So it's an establishment that's been reliable for such a long time, whereas crypto is still relatively new. So yeah, it's, if your money disappears from a wallet, it basically evaporates.
But it's traceable because you can trace every single transaction on
the ledger, yeah, on the
right.
central ledger.
So you, in theory, could find out what wallet is using it and then track them down and do kind of like a born supremacy thing.
I mean, theoretically, I suppose. Yeah.
Or have you seen the movie Taken?
Yeah, I have seen that a long time ago.
unique set of skills.
Yeah. Well, I have a unique lack of skills in that department. It's like,
So what blockchain do you trust the most? Is it Bitcoin because that's the most established?
well, that's the one that I think has the most predictable kind of behavior. Yeah, I mean, blockchain to me, it's just a time series. All of them are just time series. They're just, it's like it could be any asset. Blockchain is just one of them that I've played with. It could be literally anything. It could be CFDs that you're trading on prop firms. So basically, it's like a derivative of indices. It's an index that you're trading. It could be stocks. It could be anything. I've had robots trade literally any kind of currency. I mean, not currency, but any type of asset.
It's like a commodity kind of.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is it doesn't matter. I have no faith in markets. So
How about if it's a TFT?
I don't know what that is.
Isn't that the artwork? Crypto artwork? Aren't those TFTs?
I think you're speaking about what's it called? It's not TFT. It's something. But I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And you're talking about the market where Snoop Dogg basically bought a house in the metaverse. Is that the one you're going for?
Okay, he did do that in the metaverse, but there was this
And there was
blockchain.
artwork.
Well, there was this blockchain art,
Yeah.
and you were able to basically make something in real life
Mhm.
and then make it into a digital. And I thought they were called like TFTs.
Yeah. No, it definitely rings a bell. I've just I haven't looked into that in a long, long time.
I think I had sent you a long time ago, like a whole thing about these.
Oh, we talked about it.
Yeah,
We
talked
talked
this.
about it, but it just didn't catch my. It didn't seem like something that I could automate.
Right.
That's why I wasn't interested. I mean, ideally, what I would be able to do is make a robot that just goes trading, and it does it while I'm sleeping, while I'm taking a shower, while I'm working on something else. So to me, those things wouldn't be. It seems like it'd be difficult to automate that.
This is a good question for the audience. Okay, so does the audience support cryptocurrency? Are you buying cryptocurrency and saving it because in the future, I've heard that, for example, Bitcoin is going to run out of the amount of coins that it can create or the miner can create. And the theory is that when there's no more new inventory, then the value of the inventory that's available is going to skyrocket because of the energy that it took to mine that resource based on the value of the energy in the future. Does that sound? So the question for the audience is, are you jumping on that bandwagon? I know that about 10 years ago, Bitcoin was like $8,000. And again, I know I have a lot of fact checkers on here. So, maybe it wasn't 8,000, right? Maybe it was less and maybe it was more.
No, it's been 8,000, obviously.
Right. Then now it looks like it's hit like 80,000. It's been like in this very high number.
I mean, it went to 120,000 when Trump was elected.
Right. So it's in this like.
That's when I sold all of it.
Well,
That's when I sold all of mine.
Nick's doing good. So would you tell the audience that it's good to hold onto their Bitcoin and or get more, or is it a good time to sell it? And again, we're not giving financial advice. I don't want to portray that. This is just a conversation.
Right.
Okay.
So for me, I've seen markets react to all kinds of different things that I can see coming. And so for me to say, well, you should hold it. Yeah. Hindsight is always 20/20. If back when it was 8,000 and if I would have told somebody, look, buy as many of these things as you can, and then they'd be like a millionaire today, then obviously it would have been great advice. But the truth of it is, like I said, I don't have faith in any market. So my my basic advice is the advice that I follow, and nobody else has to follow it. I could be completely wrong. Is I only am interested in micro movements of markets, things that happen in the space of minutes. It's scalping, basically. So that's why I use a bot, because if you had to do this sitting in front of a screen all day, you blow your brains out. So
And in the other episode, we do have the number for that. If you're going through depression and you're thinking of that.
yeah, good disclaimer.
Now, have you heard the story about there was a guy who wanted a pizza and all he had was Bitcoin? But back then, the Bitcoin was worth like $10, but he had like, I don't know, 1,000 coins, right? But the value was so low because he had bought them for like 50 cents. But he really wanted his pizza, so his buddy said, or whatever, whoever said, sure, get the pizza,
Yeah.
give me the coins. And he had this pizza. And then it was like the news or someone was interviewing him now, going like, hey, remember when you got that pizza? Like, you would be a gazillionaire. Like, how do you feel, man? And he's like, it sucks. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I'm talking about, right?
No. Yeah, obviously, obviously. But I mean, who could have really seen that? Who could have known? And also, as with Bitcoin, it's not just whether it's a Ponzi scheme or what. It has to do with adoption. You have to see countries adopting it, or institutions adopting it, so that it can actually have a real functional life. So because that adds to the value, that makes it actually valuable. In fact, you could say, well, so once you have maximum inventory, then every bit of it is going to be almost infinitely, valuable, because there's a finite amount of it. But if no one wants it, or it's not accepted anywhere, then is it, what's the use of it?
Exactly.
And does the value, does then, for your fact checkers, I guess, those who know better, does the value actually still have a way up if it's not used by anything for anyone?
And that's a good question. You can respond in the comments. You can hit that like and subscribe button now if you're enjoying the Dead Mike Society podcast. Now, I wanted to ask you, is it Venezuela who is exclusively using Bitcoin? Because I remember there
El Salvador.
was... El
Well, no one is exclusively.
I thought they got rid of their currency.
No.
And they adopted the Bitcoin.
No, I don't think anybody has gotten rid of their legacy currency. I think every country in the world is still using their legacy currency. But I think that in El Salvador, after Bukele took power, he instituted a way for Bitcoin to be used nationally, on a national level. So it's not a competing currency, but it's another way to exchange.
Exactly. Now, do you think that the USA is going to adopt a USA coin if they don't already have one?
I don't know. I have no idea. I have no expertise in that domain at all.
Okay.
It could be, because look, man, they're making coins out of like dental services now. There's like DentaCoin.
Really?
If you can make a coin out of that, you can make it like a Chihuahua coin. Yeah, maybe.
How about Elon Musk? Didn't he have Doge?
Right. I think Doge existed, but he championed it, and then it shot through the roof. I made money on that too, actually.
Really? You were at Doge to the moon?
To the moon. I didn't follow it to the moon, but I made money on its way up.
Nice, man. I think Doge lost money.
Well, I'm sure it did.
I think it got drilled.
Well, the thing is, all these things, they go up and down. It's just like, that's why I said I don't have faith in any market. I don't have enough faith to like hold on to something. For me, I want to ride the wave up and get out of the wave when the wave stops going up.
Doesn't it feel like gambling?
It's all of it is. It's all gambling. I don't care what anybody says. It's all gambling.
It's all gambling.
Even to an extent, real institutional investing is gambling. You don't know what's going to happen.
So people who invest in stocks are gamblers.
They are, because there's no way, because to the extent that it has to involve statistics, it automatically is gambling. It's just, it's not a fan. They don't like, no investor wants to hear that, or no investor wants to say, well, yeah, I'm a gambler to an extent. But it's to the extent that if you make a bet on something that you don't fully know the statistics of and that you don't know for sure is going to go one way or the other, that's gambling. There's lesser forms of gambling like CDs and very stable things,
Right.
but it is gambling. It's all gambling.
So do you think that, for example, they have like a gambler anonymous hotline? Do you think there are people who use that hotline because they have a gambling problem, even though they use it for investments, but they still have that same addiction?
Yeah, yeah. I think that a lot of I've seen a lot of people who had gambling problems actually gravitate towards more like what I was talking about earlier, scalping or day trading or very short term positions, because that is even more gambly. It's actually more risky. Now, the reason I wouldn't say I'm a gambler is because I'm actually trying to build a bot. I'm not trying to get the high of whoa, I scored. You know, it's for me, it's just like I just want to have something that's working on the side. So I'm sparing myself the heartache of losing and the high of winning.
So, and when you say
But yeah,
bot, we're in a world of humanoids. So you're creating a bot that can work for you online and can find the deals and make the purchases and make the sells to make you microscopic money that adds up to boatloads of money in the future. Is that
yeah,
similar to having, if you're able to take that idea and turn it into a humanoid,
mhm.
could you have that humanoid do a job that would be similar? That would be scraping whatever it is and making small money and slowly growing an empire. Are you onto something here, maybe?
No,
No,
I
just
don't think I am.
so you're saying humanoids, they're not capable?
I mean, humanoids are capable. What I'm taking out of the what I'm taking out of the equation when I go to code
Mm-hmm.
is not the capability that because I could do it myself. In fact, I make more money when I do it manually.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm taking away is just the tedium, how boring it is, how boring it is to sit in front of a screen, to enter a position, to look at the indicators, to say, oh, maybe this, maybe not, and then it goes up. Okay, awesome, I made money. Or, it goes down, okay, well, I didn't lose too much. It's just the tedium. It's just very tedious. That's literally the only capability that the code has. I'm now jumping into machine learning models because it does help to find some edges that rules based system wouldn't be able to find on their own. But it's really nothing that a human can do.
It's really interesting because a lot of people love to work in tedious jobs. So, like, their whole day is behind a computer and they're doing it to make money.
Mhm.
If you're able to teach people how to do this so that they could make money, I think millions of people, if not hundreds of millions of people, would be interested in learning more about this. Is this something that maybe you could write a book or something that you could teach in a model? Like if someone took your class, like do you think that this is like like people could be coachable on this? Or is this only for like a specific way of thinking? Like is it too advanced? Or do you think like our listeners, for example, or the people on our show, and I know it sounds like it's turning into an infomercial. It's not, okay? But the real question is, if there's something here, is there a way to connect the dots between the Dead Mike Society and Nick's algorithm for scalping cryptocurrency?
Well, so I've had models in the past that have made money,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not something that I would stick on, say, a friend's wallet because it's because I'm still working on some of the risk mitigation that the bot has to go through, things that I can spot with my naked eye, but that I haven't been able to codify well enough in Python yet.
Mm-hmm.
But the only thing that I would do, because it is coachable, there are courses on this stuff. In fact, there's like an entire suites of instruction on market statistics and things like that. If you're not super mathematically inclined, but you know how to code a little bit, that might be helpful. But it does help to have because I'm an engineer by trade, right? So I have a degree in electrical engineering, so I'm exposed to the math.
Mm-hmm.
So the models make sense. But if you're not super mathematically driven, there could still be a way that you could do it because there are people that have a really good intuition about markets. All they have to do is just codify that in an automated way. Like, they could go to ChatGPT, for instance, and say, hey, this is how I trade, and it seems to work for me. Can you put that in the code?
Or any AI. It doesn't have to be chat. And again,
ChatGPT, Claude, whatever.
we're not
Matter.
plugging chat, by the way.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not, it's
So
not a-
any LLM based like chat where you could ask it, this is how I trade, and I would like you to find a way to capture that in code that I can run, and then to automate so I don't have to do it manually.
So it can make you a bot.
So it can make you a bot, but I mean I know the ins and outs of this statistical stuff, and even I myself haven't been able to get ChatGPT or Claude or whatever to make me a bot that was fully profitable across all market regimes.
How about Gemini?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. They're all
No. It doesn't matter because statistical edge is hard to model, and something that's so chaotic as a market, any market.
So when I trade stocks before, I know that to do day's trading, you needed to have $25,000 in your brokerage account. Is there any requirement on the amount of money that you need to have in your crypto account to do this kind of day trading?
No, because well, crypto is not really is not considered an asset, and second of all, that $25,000 rule is gone now.
Wait, what?
Yes,
When did that go?
about I think 2 months ago.
Oh, wow. It's really new.
Yeah.
So now you can day trade with whatever amount?
Well, now, yeah, you can day trade with whatever amount, and the reason was because because this has to go through a clearance, right? Like when you're buying a stock, you're actually buying a piece of a company. It's different. It's not like crypto, right? You're actually buying a piece of a company, and when you're buying it or selling it, whatever, the transaction has to clear with the authorities. That's why it takes a while. That's why they don't want you to spend more than 25,000 if you have 25,000. FCC, but also the other regulation bodies too. So basically, because you could gamble more than you have, and then by the time the paper trail catches up.
Well, that was my next question, because when you have margin and they don't make a call to action, what that is if you go over your margin, you're using it, they can call at any time and say, hey, put more money in the account.
Right.
So if you end up free riding, which is basically buying a stock, selling a stock, buying a stock, but not allowing the funds to clear over the 3 business days. So now how do they get around that if you don't have to have a set amount of money in the account? They just say, do your best? Or do they ban you for 90 days if you F up?
Well, they don't, because the free riding was related. I think I could be wrong about this, but I think the free riding rule was based on the amount of money that you had. Like you couldn't, like if you had like 1,000, you couldn't trade more than $1,000 worth, for instance.
You
right?
could, though. So what would happen is,
But I think you can now.
well, what I'm saying is back then you could too. So you could buy a stock in the morning and sell it, and the money was available when you sold it. It used to not be held. It would be like you sold it, funds are there, but you can't transfer them out of your brokerage.
Right.
So then you could reuse them. But I'll just tell the audience, I got a 90-day ban from the FCC because of that.
Yeah, right.
Where the funds didn't clear, and for 90 days I couldn't trade, and I couldn't get out any of my funds.
Right.
They held
So mechanically you can, but you're not allowed to, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
But I think that's lifted now. That's
so now you can free ride.
Yeah, because Charles Schwab. See, like I had a bot that was set against Charles Schwab. It used to analyze all these different stocks in the morning, and it would say like, okay, so this one is likely to go up today, and let's try this one, that one, and it bought it automatically, and it would wait till it hit a certain level, and then it would sell. And
you set, you programmed the level. You said, when it hits 592, sell, or whatever it is. People did that right now with SpaceX.
Right. It was it was set dynamically, but yes, it was a set amount that the code decided on, and I would have to allow a day for it to clear. Some institutions it's 3 days, but Charles Schwab was able to clear it very fast. It was 1 day.
One business day.
1 business day.
Because sometimes there's a holiday and sometimes
Right, that's
there's
a business day.
also, well, hold on. There's also aftermarket trading.
Right.
So what happens in that situation? You're not really buying at that point, but you're because some brokerages allow you to buy aftermarket.
Right. I haven't used that. A lot of times what I have is the only thing I've seen happen in aftermarkets is, for instance, like if I set a limit sell on something and it happens to hit that price on the off hours, then it sells, and that's the only thing I have. It's just because that's, it's a limit order that's sitting there
Now I
waiting to
feel
be
like
fulfilled.
I'm sorry to talk over you. We have to pause. I feel like when I set a number after market, it still is volatile to how the market opens. So like even if it hit that number after market, if it's more than 1 hour after the market closed, it is based on how the market opens. So they only give you 1 hour after the market closes, even though like 3 hours later you'll be like, oh, this is the perfect amount to buy it. It won't let you at that point. You can only buy, I believe it's for 1 hour after it closes. But you know what? I'm not debating, like I'm not saying, hey, Nick's the expert. I'm not the expert. I know we have experts in our chat watching Dead Mike Society, and you're gonna let us know all of the things that we said wrong, which I actually appreciate, to be honest. I do like that people really enjoy the show and they want us to get everything right. We don't always get it right, and when I personally don't, I'm sorry. And I know a few episodes ago I said Ohio instead of Idaho for the shooting that took place at the In-N-Out. And I just want to say from my heart, I'm still very sorry about that. I didn't mean any disrespect. And I know that I got a ton of criticism from that. And really sorry about that. So, Nick, let me pivot a little bit from stocks and from finances. Are you into any other hobbies? Something like, are you into cooking? Are you into traveling? Are you into surfing? Are you into boxing? Is there anything that Nick likes to do when you're not doing math? And also, second question, hobby, also, what is the highest math that you completed?
Oh, for me, it was complex analysis for engineering.
Is that trigonometry? Is that calculus? Or is that a whole different mathematics?
I mean, it involves all of them. There, all those things, trigonometry, calculus, all these things lead up to that. But also, uh, knowing, imaginary numbers and how those things work, and surface integrals, and I mean, there's a lot going on. It's a very, it's an intensive math course.
We actually happen to have a whole bunch of mathematicians that
Nice,
follow the show.
nice.
And
I'm not a mathematician, but
I'm just saying, one of the things they always ask is what is the highest level of math that your guest had on the show? Or like I had a couple guests on the show last month, and that's what they were asking them. What's the highest level of math that you had? So I know by you saying that,
mhm.
you're able to kind of connect the dots with them, which is amazing. Math, it's you think it's just logic, and it gets complicated, right? At the end of the day, is it still logic, or is, like you said, does it start to turn into just kind of this like science, not really math anymore, and it's like a science in theory?
It depends what area. I mean, there's fuzzy math, but I used the word deterministic earlier, and I would say that again for this, for everything that all the math that I've studied personally, it's all logic. It's just you just tiny building blocks, but it remains logical the whole time. There isn't a part of math on your way up to where you get in engineering,
Mhm.
uh, even in after graduating, that all of a sudden there's a leap of there's a discontinuity in the logic. It's always logical. It always builds up all the way to the top, and it's a very, I mean, unfortunately, math. I mean, you can learn a lot, but it is very vertical
Mhm.
in terms of disciplines.
Okay, and then the second part of the question: any hobbies?
No, I mean, yeah, I travel a lot. I've traveled a lot.
Well, traveling is a hobby now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I've been to a lot of different countries. Um,
Anywhere.
and music. That's it.
Well, let's talk a little bit about your traveling.
Okay.
Since you've been to a lot of countries, do you speak a lot of languages?
I speak so fluently French and Spanish and English. Those are the three that I speak. That I speak fluently.
And then tell us a little bit about your traveling experience. Like, do you go as a tourist? Do you try to go to places and blend in like a local? Do you stay there for a weekend? Do you stay there for a year? Like, what's your, how do you do it? Like, and also, do you get good deals?
Yeah, my wife is really good at getting deals. She's been she wanted to be a travel agent. You know, I don't know why she didn't do it because I've never seen somebody find the kind of deals that she finds. I've stayed at some of the craziest hotels, and I'm not a millionaire. Like, I almost feel like when I walk around some of the hotels that we've stayed at, that I don't fit in. Honestly, like I look at the other people, and it's just like, man, what am I doing here?
Right, right.
You know. So
The
so she's good. You know, she's good at finding deals.
Now, when you say travel agent, I thought travel agents were obsolete when you had the tech boom. I thought that career kind of went out the window. Now they have like travel advisors, I think they are now, but they're not. See, there used to be like you couldn't get an airplane ticket, right? Unless you had a travel agent. Like back with Pan Am and those.
Oh, back in the 80s.
Yeah, well,
Right.
even late 70s, but there was a time where if you wanted an airline ticket,
Yeah.
you had to go to a travel agent.
Really?
It was like you couldn't even go, and that's what I had heard. I'm not sure. Again, fact check me. I'm not sure how it worked. Maybe you could go to the airport and buy a ticket, and I'm not positive, but I do remember a conversation with someone who's a few generations older than me, and he had said travel agents were the only way to go if you wanted an airline ticket, and that's how new flying was. And I think then airlines were private and they weren't run by the FCC or federal government at that time too. I think there was a time where planes had their own supervision. Like they weren't. It wasn't a part of like now. It's actually the government who runs the oversight of the airlines.
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the FAA.
FAA. I mean.
Okay. Yeah. I think that's right, and it sounds right. Although I don't know because I know that my mother in the 80s I think was able to get plane tickets just by calling the company. Like she used to call Air Canada, for instance.
And use a
And
credit card or cash.
well, what she did was reserve, and then she'd have to go somewhere to pay for it.
Oh, okay.
You could go to a kiosk at the airport and buy a ticket directly.
Yeah, because back then there wasn't like the
There
way.
were credit cards. She didn't have credit cards though.
Well, what I'm saying is the processing was different. They used to process it with a piece of paper.
Right.
And you would scan the card on the paper and it would make an imprint.
Yeah, right,
And you
right.
would sign it. So the reason you couldn't use the credit cards was there wasn't the system of typing in the number and getting some kind of approval. That didn't come till like 10 years later.
Right.
Like it literally was just like almost like a check. It was like, oh, let me use this card. It was new.
It was like, trust me, bro. It was on the other system. You could have a fake ass card.
Well, have you seen the movie like Catch Me If You Can? Was that the one with Leonardo DiCaprio?
That was with
Pan Am?
That was with what's his name?
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks. Yeah.
Yeah, and Leonardo DiCaprio. And
Was he in there too?
Yeah, he was the one who was like fooling them
Oh, okay.
with the Pan Am, and he was writing fake checks. Like he
Right.
worked for them.
Right.
And he was cashing them. And back then, that's how checks were. Like you would just have a check, but you really had no one to call. Or, you know what I mean? You would just have to look for like, yeah, I guess it looks good. All right, give them the, the $5,000. Or back then it was like $5, right? Because money was different. So,
Yeah.
you could buy a Coke for a nickel. So it's probably 500, not 5,000. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Same
right.
difference.
I guess it must have been a higher. I mean, the fact that it worked out and that society didn't collapse meant that we were probably living in more of a high trust society then.
Well, back then, yeah, it was more
Yeah.
classy. I mean, if you look at the pictures of like, I want to just go like, okay, we'll start way before that. Like just like even 1920s. Like
Yeah.
people were classy. Like people would go out and it was like the music was different, right? You had 1920 was like beat bop, right? Kind of world,
Right.
And then you got into, I'm not positive the 30s. I'm sure but I know then eventually got into kind of this jazz. And I
Yeah.
think once the jazz hit, the world got a little more loose.
Maybe.
I mean, that's how I
Maybe.
look at history. I go like, when the jazz hit, the whole wardrobe changed. The whole style changed. It was like, whoa, you can play like that and you can make grooves like that. And all of a sudden people were, you know,
Yeah. And I understand what you and but people said that about jazz back then, and then they started saying it about rock and roll, and then
oh, rock and
you'd
roll.
get up to the point where like Frank Sinatra used to say that it was such a violent, disgusting music, and he was, you'd think he was talking about like metal or something. No, he was talking about Elvis Presley.
Yeah.
So each generation had some shit to say about the newest one.
Right. Well, what do you think of the music today?
Oh, same thing. I'm in the same basket. I don't like it.
Is it the devil's music though? Like, do you think that people who listen to this music are just impure? And what is today's music? It's like EDM, right? Or is that last decade?
No, EDM is still very, very much around. And the last couple decades have been dominated by rap. But although I hear that's going down now. I hear there hasn't been like a rap song that's hit the Billboard 40 in the last, in a while.
Fact checkers.
Fact checkers come at me.
Fact checkers' eyebrows were like, "What?
No, check it out. Check it out. It's real.
Top 40."
And some people, top 100 actually.
Oh wow! So we're gonna get a couple spitballs maybe.
I'm fine.
Now I heard today. Do you know a rapper named Tyga?
No.
Okay, so I guess he had dated like a Kardashian or something of that nature. I'm not positive his relationship. Well, he just dropped a new album and he got called out because he used AI for his bass lines and guitar solos and stuff like that, even though it's his voice.
Right.
And people are going like, wait, you're a professional musician and you're using AI. And his response, and I'm paraphrasing, I know Tyga's watching the show, so, you don't got to email me.
For sure.
Okay. He says, it's just like auto-tune. It's the same thing. You use auto-tune, I use Suno, and we're not plugging Suno.
Right. Yeah. No, it's not. It's not the same thing, but it's not at all the same thing.
So what do you think? Do you think Tyga is the biggest sellout and like he shouldn't be a rapper anymore? He should just like hang up his microphone and like walk of shame?
No, I don't think he should. I don't think he should. Well, I don't know his work. Maybe if I heard it, I would think that he should hang up the mic. But in my opinion, he's not a professional musician. First of all, rappers are not professional musicians to me. They're people that know how to write poetry and they know how to set it to a rhythm and in that sense. So if you can't, I'm not going to expect a guy to play guitar.
But there's a lot of rappers who can play the drums too.
I don't know a lot of them, but I'm not going to disagree with you. I'm just going to say that the majority of people that I know.
Well, the guy from The Roots, he was on Jimmy Fallon for all those years. He could rap and he could play the drums.
Yeah, but he's an insane drummer. Like he's a drummer first and foremost.
But I'm just saying, and he had a great voice too.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying.
Okay. I've heard him rap and I've heard him play drums. I'd rather hear him play drums.
I'm just saying there's a lot of rappers who actually are very musically inclined. They're bass players. They are. Yeah. I'm just saying multi-talented. I have seen on the internet especially. They're like one-man bands. I've seen these guys. They can rap and they can layer their voice. Anyway,
I believe it. But to get back to Tyga, am I saying it right?
Well, it's with a Y. It's Tyga.
Yeah, Tyga. I think. So basically, to get back to that guy, no, I don't think he's a sellout, but I don't think that it's the same. Like drawing a comparison between autotune and AI producing music is completely different. See, the autotune is just gonna you give it the raw feed and it just fixes things here and there, and then it's like an effect. AI generates things. Autotune doesn't generate anything. It's just an effect. You put you give it an input, it gives you an output. AI is something that actually will generate music for you. It hasn't been thought out. Basically, it's something that has listened to millions and billions of musical pieces and is able to make something in a style that you ask it for vaguely, and it's going to give you vaguely that style. Mm-hmm. And the fact that rap music has gotten to the point where it's able to ask AI to make beats for it shows how saturated that market has gotten. It shows how creatively bankrupt that area of music is, in my opinion. If you're able to, if AI can replace you, you're not good.
Can even make their artwork.
I've never made a. I mean, I'm not gonna say like, look, it's like you shouldn't use AI ever. AI has its place. I've never made an AI piece of music in my life.
You know what? You're gonna have to take.
I wouldn't.
You're gonna have to take Dead Mike Society to jail because our intro on the show is generated with AI. I wrote it on AI.
Yeah, but you're not selling that album.
No, I'm not selling it. It's just our. It's our thing.
It's just an intro.
No, we used to use Betty and I. So like our song from Max used to be the intro, and I've gotten so many comments from listeners that said, "Man, what happened to that song you used to use? That one was so good." And I'm like, "Well, it's from band. It's our band Max. I didn't know if it was appropriate since we're pursuing music, so I didn't know if it was appropriate to use it for the opening of Dead Mike Society, since we are a for money program. So we're a program that makes money. Like we're not.
Oh, okay.
It's not just for fun. So once you start using music for money, well, you have to pay the artist. So I didn't want to get into this legal issue for this small snippet of music between the band and myself, and I didn't want there to be any bad blood because I'm new to this. This is like one of the first things that I have that is like a business. And I didn't know the legality because, for example, if I wanted to use Post Malone's song, right, I would have to pay him a significant amount of money per year,
right,
for it to be on the show,
right,
because it's commercial,
right.
And if people start putting commercials on my show, I owe more money,
right, yeah.
right, because
it's not covered by fair use. Well,
right.
So for Max, I don't think it's a problem because every single member of Max, and we all consent.
No, I know.
So
and maybe
technically, you could put it back.
Right. Maybe
but
maybe we will. But that's a question for the audience. When you listen to the show and you hear the intro music, do you like it? Is it something that before the show and at the end of the show you enjoy, or do you want to have the Betty and I song back? Is that something? I'm just wondering, since everyone's, listening to the show and enjoying it, how's the music? How's the graphics? If you like it, like and subscribe. If you want to hear the Betty and I song or you want to download it, you can go to maxmaxmusic.com. And we have the whole album up there.
Right.
Nick had mentioned that he has a project. Nick, do you want to share where they could see Perspective?
Sure. So on Instagram, it's Perspective without an E at the end. So it's just PERSPECTIV.music. That's the handle on Instagram. And that's where I conduct most of it. I'm trying to get up on TikTok, but I'm kind of dragging my feet on that. But that's where you see it. And it's a mix of like corn and synth rock and progressive, and it's a very strange mix, but
it's actually very cool. I mean, I dig it. I think you definitely should check out Perspective. You should check out maxmaxmusic.com. I know there's a lot of people who hate this part of the show that we're plugging things and saying it, but like I said, we are like a show that's selling products and doing things like that. So the show itself has a website, and it is thedeadmikesociety.com. We do have t-shirts and we do have swag. So if you can or you want, go on there and check out the stuff. We're get kind of close to, before you know it, it's going to be, Halloween. It happens so quick, and then we get into the holidays. So we will have some specials up there. I'm going to try to do some free shipping, stuff like that, because I know that we're all trying to kind of get the dollar to go as far as we can. And sometimes when you order products and then you see these shipping charges, you're like, man, is this even worth it? So I'm going to try to do something where if you bundle, you can get maybe buy one, get one free, or I don't know. I got to talk to the company that supplies our merchandise and figure out what can I do for the Dead Mike Society. I want to ask Nick also some questions before he goes. And the first question I had asked Sean and Jeff, so the people who listen to the show every day, this is a pretty interesting one. Would you sacrifice the life of one person to save 1,000?
I can't really answer that. It's kind of, I mean, it's a trolley question, right?
Well, you need to say yes
So-
or no.
I have to say yes or no.
Because then it continues.
Okay, so let's go with yes.
Ah, man, I was hoping you would say no, because then it would be one for 5,000 people.
Oh.
Okay, we'll just stick with that. So one life for 1,000. Now, how about if the 1,000 were pedophiles?
Right. I mean, that's
Right, and you know where it was going.
right.
But yeah, so anyway, I had asked them, and it was funny. We had ha kind of thing.
Yeah. No,
But now I'm going to ask you a real question. Sorry,
Okay.
sorry to bust that on you. Okay. Tell me about a time something went completely wrong and how you handled it. It could be in any aspect of your life.
It sounds like an interview question.
I can give you another one if you don't like that one.
No. It's where something went completely wrong.
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, there's too many examples of that. But I'm gonna go with the one where we were playing. I think you were there, and members of your family were there too to see the crash live. We were playing at the where were we playing? It was Subdevice, playing at the Rainbow, not the Rainbow Room, the one next to it. I forget the name of it.
Roxy.
The Roxy. We were playing at the Roxy,
Uh-huh.
and the sound guy. I don't know if Jeff pissed him off or what. Not Jeff from Max, but Jeff from Subdevice at the time. I don't know if he got into a tiff with the guy or what, but he screwed us. I couldn't hear myself on the stage at all.
You just took you out of the monitors.
Yeah, and just like the whole show was just a train wreck. And of course, your mom, ever supportive. Oh no, that was great, honey. And it just, I was like, I mean, thank you, but I know.
Right.
So that definitely went wrong there. That was the biggest, like the most embarrassing train wreck. And it's always live, That's
And so, how did you deal with it, or what did you do to
I
get through it?
just died and crawled into a hole after. I don't deal with that kind of adversity well.
Just crawled up to the bar.
Just crawled up to the bar after the show. Didn't try to go it's like after you have a good show, you know how it is. It's like you step off the stage. Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up? Hey, what are you doing? After that, I was kind of like creeping up to the big take Sam a shot. Yeah,
Exactly.
It wasn't like there was no showboating.
That's funny, man. Yeah, bad shows, as musicians, you do get them.
You
Where,
get bad nights.
Yeah, we're just whatever it is, equipment malfunction, or just I know I played a show with Nick some time ago, and we were told we were supposed to go on at like 10.
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's like 8, and they're like, "Why aren't you guys playing?" And we're like, "What? Like, what do you like? Our people aren't even here yet. Like, we're just hanging out." And it was like, "No, go." And then we got up there. There's like nobody there yet.
We're like playing for the bartender.
Yeah. So we finished playing, and then everyone starts showing up. Right? Everyone's like, "Cool, man. When do you guys go on?" And it's like, this is kind of weird. They said we already were supposed to play, even though we were told 10. And then the place is packed, and then this band comes up to play. I mean, let's not say any names; doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But it was like, did they?
So that's what happened.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So I guess a couple more things about Nick, just so the listeners know. How long have you been married?
Since 2017.
Okay,
So almost
9 years.
Like 9 years, almost 10. Yeah.
that's good. And how long have you lived in Los Angeles?
Damn. Pretty much all. I mean, I came to the States about 30 years ago, and I've lived pretty much in Los Angeles the whole time. I lived elsewhere a little bit. I mean, some of my traveling did involve staying, long term in some places, like when we were in Europe or in the Middle East. But other than that, I've lived mostly in Los Angeles for the past 30 years.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
And do you have a religious affiliation? Like, is there any religion that you are like? Do you practice, or are you just like spiritual?
No, I don't practice any religion, but I would say if I had to, I mean, I would say I'm agnostic and leaning towards Christianity because it's the upbringing, you know. So it's like that's you usually default to what you know best. But I would say Christianity if I had to pick one.
Okay. And are you happy about the way that like our government is handling things for the most part? Obviously, no one's going to be happy 100%, but do you think locally, like California government and federal government, if there's a way to answer with both, or are they completely separate?
Well, they're very separate, obviously, because our you know the direction of our federal government is clearly run by a different mindset than the one that runs California.
Right. Right.
So, and I don't think it's controversial at this point to say that Newsom has been bad. I don't think it's controversial at this point. I think that a lot of people can agree to that, no matter what camp you're from. And I'm not necessarily a Trump fan, and I'm not necessarily. I mean, I'm from California, and I've been a California boy all my life. I think like most of us here have a tendency to tend a little more left for most of our lives. You know, like especially in the '90s. But things changed so much. And I haven't changed, but now I'm on the right because of the opinions that because of the liberal opinions that I've held all my life.
Right. Right.
So, yeah, I think there's failure all around. I think there's federal failure. There's local failure. I mean, there's obviously local failure. You know, there was a joke that was like Newsom's chances for to become president were thwarted once everybody found out he was running California. So. You know,
it's been a hard place. I mean, California, you know, it's so diverse, and you have so many issues, and you have Hollywood, and you have all these things, and somehow I don't know what happened here.
You know what? I don't know how you mess up California, honestly, because you literally have all the cards. I mean, they had Silicon Valley, Chevron, Hollywood. There's, I mean, up north. I mean, even the weed business, if you wanted that, you know, it's like you just go all the way up north.
The ocean.
Yeah, it's like I mean, there's Oregon-like place. There's mountains. You can't mess up California. For you to mess up California, you have to. There has to be some kind of corruption that is so endemic and so deep that there's no way to mess up California. I don't get it.
Absolutely, man. Well, I just want to say thank you so much, Nick, for joining us on Dead Mike Society. Nick's going to be filling in as a co-host when he gets time. You're always welcome back to the show.
Thanks.
And I guess, you know, this is Dan. All right, man. Nick. And we'll see you next time, all right?
If you've got a voice, then pull up a seat. Real talk drops with every beat. No echo chamber, no disguise. Welcome to the Dead Mike Society.